Donna L. Holloman, Realtor with the BrokersRealtyGroup.com. The Brokers Realty Group Limited, located at 8150 Derry Street in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Hi, Donna L. Holloman with BrokersRealty.com. My daughter, Christina Holloman, who is practicing the study for her real estate license. And this is Tea Time with Donna and Chrissy, talking about real estate.
And today we're going to discuss more real estate terms. In our last videos, if you have not clicked and subscribe, please do so and check us out and come up to speed about what we're talking about today. Real estate terms. We're going to talk about, let's know about the C's: commissions, comparables, contingencies, and counteroffers. So right now we're going to discuss about commission. Who gets paid and why?
Well, a commission itself is usually paid by the seller. The buyer usually never pays a commission, but then there's also variables in that. But for the most part, buyers do never really pay for commissions. Commissions is negotiated between the seller and the real estate agent. Now, the reason why we pay seller would pay commissions is because real estate agents have access to millions, and I mean millions, of homes and homeowners, and Realtor.com is one of them, where you have access to buyers and sellers who are looking for that particular house like yours. And real estate agents in itself are marketers. We market real estate. That's mainly what we do. We focus on the market of the property itself around that area. We focus on communicating with advertising with the general public, with local people, with people pretty much all around the world. And so sellers want to pay for that because they want their homes paid. They want their homes sold as quickly as possible. And the only way to do that is if we get it out there. And most of the times when the seller sells their home on their own, it takes a little longer because they don't have that access as much as a real estate agent does. And so that commission is negotiated between 3 and 6%, maybe 7%. It depends on the broker that you work with. But basically, that's what commissions are paid for.
Okay, and the commission comes out of the cost. Is it the cost after the sell price, after they negotiated a sell price, or they said, okay, this is what I want my house to sell for? Or is that coming out the equity?
Well, usually it comes out of the equity of a home, because I heard that some buyers, or, I hear that buyers and sellers, they say, oh, well, buyers are really paying the commission because you have to raise the price in order to pay the commission. No, that's not true. The real estate agent has to base the house sales on the market value itself. The market value, now, this is where equity comes in. Mm-hmm. If a seller has a lot of nice equity in their home, let's say, for instance, their mortgage is left over at $100,000, but the house market value is $200,000. They have $100,000 in their bank account, basically, when they sell their house. They will receive that money back. So what they do is the seller will decide, okay, I think I can afford 6% or 7% of the price of the house because I have an extra $100,000. I want to be able to market my house as properly and as quickly as possible.
Right.
So that's why a seller negotiates with the agent as to how they want to market the property itself. I think I answered that.
Yes, the answer, and it's good to get it sold right away because the market changes very quickly. Like if we spoke with the last video, it talks about the stock market. It's kind of like the same. You have to move when it's hot.
Yes.
You want to move when it's hot. So it's good to have someone that knows how to market and can get your property sold pretty quickly. Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's talk about comparables. So now we went into the commission. Let's talk about the comparables, the market analysis.
Yep. Comparables, what a real estate agent does is we look at all the sales, all the solds. There's a database. Okay, there's a database called the Multiple Listing Service. Mm-hmm. And the Multiple Listing Service is really agents throughout the world, not just in the local area, but throughout the world. They look at a list of properties that have sold in the last year or two. Okay. Well, if we're doing a comparable market analysis on your particular home, we focus on the home, we compare it to other properties that sold in the last 6 months or maybe the last 3 months, and we can generally guesstimate that the market will help the property sell at a certain price. And that certain price, like, let's say, for instance, down the street we have a 4-bedroom, and our property is a 4-bedroom, 2-bath, and that's partly a 4-bedroom, 2-bath. But this one has a garage. Ours have a garage. The other one does not have a garage. So sometimes a percentage is knocked off of the price because of the garage. Right. But the comparable market is that the market that sold 3 months ago may sell again today at that same market price.
Okay, so that comes to a counter offer. Let's talk about a counter offer and with comparables. So now that we know what the comparables are, and the realtor can decide what according to market analysis, how much the property can sell for, or how much the buyer is willing to pay for. Mm-hmm. Now we can start to do counter offers. And how does counter offers work into that?
Okay, well, usually there's one offer, and it's really the listing price. The seller creates a listing price. That listing price can be countered. Like, say, for instance, he's listed the price for $150,000. Well, the counter offer would be that I had an inspection. There was a hole in the roof that going to cost me about $5,000. So I'm going to counter offer you from $150,000 to $145,000. That'll knock off that $5,000 and help me cover that roof later.
Okay. Yeah. And so would that be considered a contingency?
Well, contingencies are different. Contingency is when you first fill out your buyer agreement to purchase the home, you're telling the seller, well, I'm not going to buy this home until I get fully approved by the mortgage, and I complete an inspection. So those two are contingencies. There's a few other contingencies that we could talk about later, but mainly the main ones is the home inspection. I want a home inspection, and I want to be able to approve for my mortgage. Now, sometimes if you're a cash buyer, you don't need that contingency because you don't need a mortgage. And sometimes if you're like a construction, like a developer, mm-hmm. and you just want to tear down the house, you probably don't need the mortgage contingency or the inspection contingency. So sometimes you can get in a whole lot quicker without the contingency. But for the average buyer, I would always suggest that buyers get inspection contingency. I mean, there's also other contingencies like checking for rodents, termites, things like that. There's many types of contingencies out there. But for these two, that's what you want to put into your first contract to purchase the house. It's two contingencies: that you get a mortgage and that you have an inspection. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so we discuss commission, comparables, contingencies, and counter offers. Can you give me a quick one word for each term? Commission.
Commission. The best price you're going to pay for marketing your property.
A comparable?
Comparable is the best price you're going to market your property based on the market, what the market can handle.
Counter offer.
Counter offer is the price that I'm willing to pay for the property.
And contingency.
Contingency is I'm not buying this house until I get approval, inspections, and whatever else that I want based on that contract.
See, you need to contact brokersrealty.com and contact Donna L. Holloman as your realtor. Again, we are discussing real estate terms. If you haven't clicked and subscribed, please do so. And if you have any other questions, please comment down below and join in the conversation so we know some good content we can come up with for next time. Okay, and again, this is Donna and Chrissy.
Tea time.
With Donna and Chrissy.
Real estate talk.
Peace.
Thank you.